Ron, good afternoon. How are you today, pal? What's going on? Ron.
First of all, Doug, I really enjoy this tournament. And you know what? It is kind of nice. It's about the only one left. You have no idea who's going to win this thing or even the last four teams. I mean, all the other sports, you know who's going to happen. And then one other thing, you don't have to be a big school to win in basketball. I mean, look at Gonzaga. Look what they've turned into. Duke's not a big school. When the Big East was themselves, there was no big schools in that either. So I don't know why one of these coaches would leave unless it's a money grab. All these schools are – I mean, this year you probably had one, maybe two number one seats, and after that, all these teams are the same. So, they just have to seed them. And I wonder what your thought is about that.
That's a good point. So if you were Mosier, no, if you had stayed put in Gonzaga despite a bad conference, if you're a Mosier, you feel like, why would you leave? You can make the tournament every year. We'll talk to Wenzel about this in a little while. You make the tournament every year, so why leave? That's your point here?
Yeah, plus you only need 5, 6, 7 good kids, and then you got a good team. I mean, it's not like football where you need all those other kids. I mean, look at it. Duke's not a big school. Gonzaga's not a big school. Georgetown back in the day wasn't a big school. So, I mean, like I said, the only reason he would leave for Indiana would be for the money. And why have all that pressure?
Well, I mean, so you think that he has as good a chance on a year-in basis to win championships at Loyola than he does at Indiana? That's what it comes down to.
No question about it. Look at Gonzaga. I mean, back in the day, nobody could even pronounce it. Now look at that school. Yes, he could. Why can't he have a powerhouse right there in Chicago?
Yeah, I mean, you can make that argument, and few has proved that in Gonzaga. I agree. Now, I would want the juice of having to play in all those Big Ten arenas every year. Going into, Mackey, going into the Spartan Center up in Michigan State. I would like that as a coach. I would be challenged by that. It's not the same going to Drake and Indiana State as he has to do. But I do understand he's got he can be. I mean, obviously he can win a championship. He's been to a Final Four. He just beat a 1 seed, so he literally can go out there and win some championships. So I mean, I get your point. It's a fair point. Go ahead. What else?
Right, and then all the juice is this tournament. I mean, nobody watches regular season college basketball. I mean, all the juice in this sport is this tournament. So.
You think he should stay? Good point, Ron. Well done. We'll continue on that theme a little later. He signed an extension, by the way, after 2018 that lasts into 25-26. Signed an extension that lasts an extra 3 or 4 years. Maybe Ron is right. He knows he's going to make the tournament every year. He knows he's going to be a threat come tournament-wise. You can win a championship out of Loyola. He got to a Final Four. Why can't you win a championship? So maybe he's better off of sitting put. Now, he's only making a little over $1 million. Indiana will pay more. So that is something you'd have to consider. But, you can live nicely in Chicago on over $1 million a year. I promise you that. Tommy's in Bethpage, New York, and he says hello, and he's on Mad Dog Unleashed. Tom, good afternoon. How are you today? What do you have? Tommy.
Hey, Doggy, how are you? For 2 points on the tournament, real quick. I want to commend you and Steve on Sunday Night Show. You guys do such a phenomenal job with that. Your coverage during the tournament is great. And while I'm here in New York, your old station, you wouldn't even know on Friday that the tournament was on. You're bouncing from game to game. You always do an amazing job. So I wanted to commend you on that.
Appreciate that. I don't know how New York cannot spend some time on the NCAA tournament. What were they doing on Friday, for crying out loud? The Mets pitching rotation? I mean, Kenny Gollison,
Gollison, the receiver? They're doing movies, so it's even worse now. But I don't want to go into that. But the tournament points I wanted to make is the one thing the 2 points I don't like is the first thing is we need to have next year the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday format come back in the first 4 days because this is a little bit of a mishmash on the Monday not having the Sweet 16 set.
It's a good point.
Would you agree?
This is a weird day. Now, you can take this 2 different ways. You can take this, wow, you start the work week with sports. How good is that? And that's what you're getting here this afternoon, and Gonzaga has won. You can look at it from that standpoint, or you can go the other way and say, geez, I could use a couple of days off. I like the weekend instead. So you can go one way or the other on that. You like the set Sweet 16 format on Monday morning after the weekend. All right, I get
Yes,
that. What else, Tom?
Sunday night you need to know the Sweet 16, but just like it's an Americana. But the other point I want to make though is the head coaches with the masks. That's the one weird feel I got because whether you like the mask, don't like the mask, 80% of the time the coaches aren't wearing it. They're yelling at the refs. The refs don't have to wear it. The players don't have to wear it. They're getting tested left and right. I don't think the head coaches should have to wear it because they're never wearing it anyway. What are your thoughts on that? Does that bother you?
Tommy, I think they're trying to send. Good call. I think they're trying to set an example with the masks. I don't think they're required to wear. I'm not sure if they're required to or not. I think they're setting an example. They're used to wearing it. They take it off to yell when they want to yell. The officials aren't wearing masks. I don't know what the rule is for the coaches. That's a good question. I do not know. We'll take a timeout, 9 in front of the hour. Gonzaga did get the over, so there you have it. 156, and they hit a lot of free throws at the end. We'll take a timeout. We continue. We're on Mad Dog Unleashed.